Hi everybody. Just unscrewing my live stream stuff. I haven't streamed in a while and everything is messed up. I think it's working. My audio looks a little hot. Let me lower the audio a little. Okay, that should stop peaking. I think I'm running now. Looks good. Hi everybody. So today I have an A1707 15-inch MacBook Pro from 2016 that my customer got some liquid on it. I already fixed the liquid damage. It wasn't too bad in the GPU control area. A couple capacitors had to go and stuff like that. Not too bad of liquid damage, and it's probably because of the actions that my customer took. So he got liquid on he's a DJ, and some liquid got spilt on his laptop while he was at a club DJing, which I probably put an end to his session. But then he took it home right away, opened it up, and disconnected the battery. So that's the first thing you should do with any electronics. As soon as you get liquid on it, remove the power source. Whether it's plugged into the wall, plugged into a charger or an adapter or something, or has a battery in it. As soon as you get liquid on something, disconnect the battery, disconnect the power, and things don't get damaged that bad. As soon as you do that, you can get this board. I can soak this in water right now. I will when I clean it and everything. The cleaning solution is mostly water. It's the water plus electricity that damages your device. So if you just have water on a device, not a problem. It is a problem on some things, like the screen. If you get liquid in the screen, it gets the backlight layers all stuck together and everything, and it never looks the same. But like the logic board itself, the damage happens because of the water and the electricity. So if you can remove the electricity, everything should be fine. But he kind of went about it in a bad way. If look out here. So I guess he didn't watch a full video or anything on how to disconnect your battery in your MacBook. But this is supposed to look something more like this. So that's the battery connector. This doesn't have the locking bar because his locking bar is just fine, so I'm going to use this to replace it. But this is the battery connector for your MacBook. That is the battery connector for his MacBook. And I guess this went to another shop before me. Those scratches there are not mine. I did not do that. Somebody, I guess, thought maybe there's a pad there, maybe I can salvage it, and promptly told him, no, I cannot fix this, and handed it back to him. Well, he brought it here to me, and yes, I can fix this. 100% definitely I can fix this. So I already started working on it a little bit. I created some new ground pads here, as you can see. Yes, Rat's Ghost. It does need that locking bar on the back of it. Let me grab another one. I'll show you exactly what this is supposed to look like. This is what this connector is supposed to look like on here. You insert your wire, your flat cable into here, and then you push down on the locking bar, and the locking bar actually makes these little fingers close down on the connector. So with the locking bar up, there's no tension on these are like they look like tweezers inside here. So they're straight up and down. They look like little tweezers, and when the locking bar is open, there's no pressure on the tweezers. They're in the open condition. When you push this down, it actually spreads out the back end here, which there's a fulcrum point in the middle here, and then the end piece closes, and it closes on the wire. So you need to have this locking bar here for this type of connector. This type of connector is used in a lot of different places on MacBooks. They're used as fan connectors. They're used as the battery connector. This is just the battery data connector. It's not really the battery connector. That's the battery connector. So that this has a screw that goes through it, and it just pushes down these pads onto the battery, and that's the actual battery voltage connector. This is the data connector. So there's a bunch of stuff that I go over pieces here and there. When you disconnect the battery, you don't need to take out the screw. All you need to do is disconnect this connector right here. Also, when this is disconnected, you should never have, or when this is connected, vice versa. Let me get that straight. You should never have this disconnected and then connect the data cable, because this is where you're getting the main power and ground from the battery. The main power and ground is not turned on until you connect here. And then this has an auxiliary ground going and some data connections, and then the sys-detect, which actually tells the battery to turn its voltage on. So you should never have this unscrewed and then just connect this connector. But when you want to disconnect the battery, all you have to do is just disconnect this cable here. You have to flip up the little lock, and then the cable will slide right back out. I'll show you all that when we're all done too. Dave Z. If you lost the locking connector or the locking bar, you can always just replace it with like you can get one of the new connectors and just take the locking bar out and put the locking bar into the new one. I'll show you how to do that, because here is his connector. And you notice all the pads are still connected to the connector. That's just wonderful. That makes this a whole hell of a lot more difficult. So this is his old connector. I would reuse it, except the one grounding bar here is broken. It was sitting on this pad here, so I can't really reuse this because that one anchor point is gone. I could take that one anchor point out and put a new one in if I had a ruined one of these laying around, but I can't. Usually I have them. I can't find a ruined one of this exact style connector. So then I could just harvest that one pin out of there and then use his connector. I can't find one. So we're just going to replace the whole connector, and I need to move it up because I need access. So these little tiny dots right here, these are the vias that go into the inner part of the board. These little tiny dots in the middle of these pads. They were connected to the pads here, but now the pads have been ripped from them. So now we need to get wires to adhere to these little dots here and back to the connector. So the connector needs to go right there ahead. So I already scratched some new grounding points. So first things first, really, I need to harvest a new connector. So let's get a new connector over here. So I'm going to put the board over the edge of the desk. You can see that, yeah. We'll get the microscope over it so we can see what's happening. Enough over the edge of the desk that I don't burn the desk. We'll put the device of gravity at the other end of it to keep it stable. Yeah, we'll take my hot air. I'm going to remove the tip. We'll put a little bit of flux on this. And we're just going to heat this up from underneath. Put my hot air underneath the board, pointing straight up at the underside of that. That looks melted. Ground point still not melted. There we go. And that's our new connector. Put the donor board off to the side. Put the other donor board off to the side. Okay, so, first things first, this is going to be difficult to solder onto those new ground pads. Because it's the actual whole ground plane. So I think I'm going to have to preheat it from underneath, just like I did to remove that one. I'm going to have to preheat this board from underneath, just so that it will take solder. Because I think I'm ready to do that. We're ready to just ground anchor that down, and then we could start working on running the tiny wires. Actually, no, I am not. I lied. So those scratches are going to get in the way. The scratches that I mentioned earlier. Whoever scratched this up made it a little bit more difficult. So if you take a look at where the connector is going to go, that's ultimately going to be its position. That one connection there is going to be right on top of all that exposed copper. So let's take a look at what that is, actually. So here we have the board view. Here's our connector. So that's what we're looking at between the microscope camera and what we're looking at. So this is important. We need that bottom one. That's the one that's all scratched up. This is important. We need that. That's the communication. So the three. And then these two are ground. Actually, this one doesn't matter. This one just goes to a test point. B monitor I out test point. So this doesn't go anywhere. So the two grounds, that's fine. That could just go to ground, tie them both together and make another pad. That one doesn't need to get connected anywhere. These two are communications. These need to get connected. And the SysDetect L needs to get connected. But that also has all that scratching underneath it. So let's seal that up so that it doesn't bother anything. Let's get this out of the way. Oop. A little sticky with flux. Okay, let's first smooth this a little bit. It's a little jagged, so I'll take the back of my tweezers. I'm just going to rub on it a little bit, make sure it's nice and smooth. Nothing sticking up. There we go. Let's clean it up with the Q-tip and some alcohol. That looks good. Now we can seal it. So use some Mechanics UV conformal coating. Just take some on a dental tool. I'm just going to dab it right there. I'll use the clean side of the dental tool to just spread it out evenly. And this test point we don't need either. SysDetect L goes right there, so we're just going to run a wire right to where it belongs. Okay, let's cure that. Now let's see how hard it's going to be to get solder to these pads before I even bother preheating and everything. So these pads are just part of the ground plane. You see the original ones, they're pads that are coming up on a via, so they're individual little pads, so they're much easier to solder to. This is just part of a whole ground plane, so this is probably going to be pretty difficult to solder to. So I have my large soldering iron here. Well, that got solder to it. I don't know if it's going to melt down now. See, it's forming a ridge right there, so it's not going to melt the whole thing when I don't have access to it. So I'm going to have to preheat the board, or just heat it straight down onto it. So this could get a little tricky, because this is a board that we care about, so we have to worry about how much heat we put on the underside, because there are a couple capacitors on the underside of this. So that's where I want it. Let's try and tack it down. I have a business call. One moment, please. Hey everybody, I am back. Now, where was I? So, I got this tacked down. Okay, it tacked down okay, but I don't like, it's not going to be soldered all the way underneath. So I'm going to heat it down from underneath it. So we're going to set it up exactly like we did to take the one off. This time I'm going to use the nozzle on it because I want a little bit more directed heat right underneath it, and that's it. And we will heat it down. It should take a little bit less heat because it is leaded solder now instead of lead-free. The outer one melted, the inner one melted, there we go. Now I'm happy with those anchor points. Those anchor points are going to be nice and solid. So now we can continue to find these little nubs and run some wires. This is the type of work that, when I was at Rossman Group, was reserved for me. I was the one that did all of this ridiculous finding nubs and running tiny wires to things. Should we start with the hard or start with the easy? I guess start with the easy, because I don't want to disturb the hard ones once I'm done. Okay. This first one here, SysDetect L, goes right to this resistor right here. So that's a nice, easy run. Let's just get some wire. I guess the larger 34 gauge will do. Should I use 40 gauge? Let's see what the 34 gauge looks like. That's a bit big. I am not using 34 gauge. 40 gauge it is. Much better. A little bit of flux. Flux is getting down there. I have to push really hard on the tube. I got my micro pencil. I don't have real solder on there. That's tinning material. Okay, that is real solder. Now, this is kind of tricky. I probably should turn the board a little bit because you don't want to melt this little wing off the side here. You can't really see. Yeah, you can see that. This little wing here, that's what holds the locking bar. You don't want to damage that in any way while you're working on it. So actually, let me turn the board so that I'm not going to hurt that. Turn it all the way. Okay, much better. I'm gonna be careful how much you heat up any of the pins too, because you can melt the casing that it's in. I should probably get some tweezers on this wire. Let me see if I can just get it tacked. There, it's held. Get some tweezers on it, trying to hold it by hand. Oh, that's a good solder connection. It's pulling the pin right out. We'll also have to clean this up real good and then glue the pins down to the board so that they don't move. Okay. Now we need a new ground pad. This one I will use the 34 gauge for because I'm just going to do 2 pins together. So let's create a new ground pad. This board is really off the ground here because I'm leaned so much. Find something to put underneath the board. Yes, just create a ground pad here. That's as good as any. Okay, those 2 pins are ground, so that is fine that I shorted them together, because I will be shorting them together permanently. Why is it not lead-free? Working with lead-free solder, it just doesn't flow as easily for hand soldering at all. Well, even machine soldering, just lead-free is not an ideal substance. Plus, it's a lot more expensive, too. Like, I do have a roll of lead-free for if somebody... I've had manufacturers bring me stuff that needs to be reconditioned, and if they have ROHS requirements, then you need to do lead-free. Either that, or if you're trying to control when things melt on a board, trying to, like, put wires underneath a BGA chip, so the BGA chip is going to have leaded solder balls on it. And then I'll run the wire underneath the chip using lead-free. So then the lead-free will not melt before the solder balls do. Something like a 20-degree difference or 30-degree difference between melting points. Might even be more than that on the alloys I have. Okay, those are the 2 easy ones. Let's melt this a little bit better. Beep. There you go, that's a little bit better. Now we have the 2 data cables. So we have to find the nubs in here. You can see the little nubs. We need to be able to solder to these. Let's get closer. It's kind of difficult to see with all the flux. Okay, so this little nub right here, and this little nub right here. We need to get wires to adhere to them, and then immobilize them, and then solder them to this and this. So let's see if we get them tinned first. This is the Paul cue. The tip of my soldering iron does not look good. Clean, clean, clean. There you go, that one tinned. That one tinned. Alright, we got some solder on them. It's like 3 in a row just now of scam phone calls that I got on my cell phone. My mortgage company destroyed my cell phone on me. I got a mortgage through one company, and as they like to do, it moved to another company. And when the other company took over my mortgage, they published my mortgage information in a public database, which I guess is just a normal thing to do. But they included my cell phone number with all of my information. So now I get nothing but Medicare fraud and solar panel fraud and all these Indian people trying to get control of my computer or my finances or something. It's actually really bad. They destroyed my phone number. I get 30 to 40 calls a day. The Haya blocks a good amount of them, but still a good amount come through. I would like to block all phone calls that are not in my contacts, but I have a Note 9 and it has an older version of Android, and that doesn't seem to be possible. Because I looked into that, because I would love to just not get it ring at all, and the only way to do that is to put everybody on a whitelist, and then you put your phone on permanently Do Not Disturb, which then it's just a pain in the ass, because then like everything's on Do Not Disturb. You don't get notifications for a bunch of other shit. It's not ideal. I wish there was a way. Maybe I should try another dialer instead of the Samsung dialer. The next one that calls, I should just take the call live. Say, you're on live with Scam Baiter. This is Pierogi. Okay, the first one came off. Okay, that one's adhered well. That one is adhered well. All right. So there you go, connector replaced. Let's get it cleaned up. We'll use, let's set up some stuff here. Get a paper towel underneath it. Get it leaning up on an angle. And now we can start brushing it with some rubbing alcohol. The last pin doesn't need to be connected. That one only goes to a test point on the other side of the board. It has no connection to anything. This is just an acid brush cut short and some rubbing alcohol. Let's get a softer bristle. Try to get in between the pins, try to get all that flux out of there. I would put in the ultrasonic cleaner, but I did not turn it on today. It is not hot. A little bit of hot air to dry it off, and we'll see how clean it came. Yeah, we still have some flux around it. We need to have it completely clean for gluing the pins down. So I can't have any of that trailing around it and stuff. Warming it helps too. I might have to turn on the ultrasonic cleaner and dunk this thing, just to make sure that I get really good adherence. All the backs of the pins are going to get glued to the board. I have the Lewis's old ultrasonic cleaner, the old CP500 from when we were in First Ave. It takes about an hour to get warm. So yeah, I do want to finish this today, so I should go turn it on anyway. But yeah, I don't think we could wait for it to clean up to finish the video. Or wait for it to heat up to finish the video. But if I just keep going at it for a while like this, it should get clean enough. Why do my tweezers not there? Get that jelly out of here. It looks like I scraped the sticky stuff off of this pad here. And it is now in my connector. Dry it off. Oh man, this sucks. I got so much crap in the connector. Oh, let me get some smaller tweezers. These should be small enough. These are, what the, what the fuck happened here? Oh my god, I must have dropped them and not realized. Because they're supposed to have a cover on them like that, because these are the really sharp tweezers. Oh, you know what? The spare pin, I can pull that out and show you what I was talking about at the beginning. So this is the shape of the pin. And it's open right now. Let me get a better view of that. So that's the shape of the pin. It's gold-plated brass. And it's open right now. And this will close on the wire that you insert in here. The plastic bar goes right into here, and when you turn it, when you lock it, it pushes in on this and makes this close down over here. So that's why you need the plastic bar on it. Ooh, I need a second pair of tweezers. Yeah, there's still a lot of flux under there. It's not coming out. I'm going to have to finish this up later. Let's install the locking bar. I'll show you how to install the locking bar. So here's the old connector. There's the locking bar. Let me get a second regular size tweezers. So the locking bar just comes straight out the back when it's unlocked only. Don't try to pull it out when it's down and locked. You just pop one side out of the wing here, and the whole thing will come out nice and easy. And remember which way it goes in. It has this bevel that goes down. And we'll just line it up with the pins and just press it right in. These little side bars hold on to it so that it doesn't get flicked out, hopefully. And there you go. Now we have a complete connector. So yes, before you try pulling the wire out, and actually it's not the most detrimental thing in the world to not disconnect this and pull the wire out. The wire will still come out. The corners may get a little damaged because these like really grip into the corners. The silver ones here, the ground pieces, they don't connect to anything. They just grip into the corner so it doesn't come out. So you might rip that up a little bit, but it won't really break anything. But what my customer did was just pull the whole thing straight up from the board. So that's not how you disconnect these. And I just ruined one of my wires. Yeah, I need to stop playing with this. For that needs to get sealed in epoxy. Or not epoxy, it's going to wind up being sealed in Q-Bond? What's the name of this stuff? Bondic. It's clear UV glue. Really good stuff. So here actually, without all the flux, you can see a little bit better of what had to be connected and where. And what I just did to it. Oops. So let's get that soldered back to that. Okay, that reconnected. Yep, that's, nope, now it's not on there. Let's get some flux on it. Is that connected now? That is connected now, and connected well. So yeah, this needs to get cleaned non-touch, I guess. It needs to go in the ultrasonic cleaner. And then glue all the back of that. Seal all those wires up in glue. And make sure that those pins can't move anywhere. Excuse me. So yeah, I hope you learned something. Greatest thing you could do for a piece of electronics that got liquid on it is to disconnect the battery. But just make sure you follow a guide or something on how to do it properly. But, you know, something that you have that you use all the time that you're frantic about, you need to... It's great that somebody had the presence of mind that I need to disconnect the battery. That's great that he looked that up. It's just that he stopped short of how to do it. And this is the same for all the MacBook line. This is started in 2016 all the way up until today's machines. Some of the Airs don't have it, but even something like this machine right here, this is one of the very new 2442s. So this is 3 years old, 2 years old, and it has the exact same connector on it. It's in a different orientation, about the same location. It's got the same, I'll show you right here. So this is what you would see, excuse me. This is what you would see in your computer when you open it up. So that would be taped down. And right next to the battery connector, if you lift up the trackpad cable, there's the screwed-on battery connector. I have it disconnected. But you would pick up this tape here, and then you have to release the locking bar and just pull the cable straight out. See, now if you don't release the locking bar and just try to pull on it, those two cutouts there, you see where the those silver pins are gripping onto that, and they make a mark in it and everything. So when you push this in and lock it, these silver bars have now went into those holes and they're gripping onto it really tight, and it won't come out easily at all. So you unlock it and it just comes straight out nice and easy. If you were to just force it out, not the end of the world. You probably will tear off at least one of those little pieces there. Not the worst thing in the world to happen. It will still work with those missing. It just won't be as tight. I would definitely replace the tape, put a new piece of Captain tape on it or something like that. But not worst thing in the world if you just force the thing straight out and rip those little end pieces off. But ripping the whole connector off is a different story. So yeah, all the way through from 2016 up until today's machines. Some of the newest Airs, they just have just a connector, 2 screws, and the connector pops on and off. But all of the Pros, I think all the Pros, all the way up until the newest ones, still have that connector. So that's all you have to do to disconnect the battery, is just flip open that lock and pull that wire out. The battery's now disconnected. Unless the battery is malfunctioning, there should be no power on the board. The battery could be malfunctioning, and it doesn't care that it's not getting the signal anymore, and it will stay powered on. Or some cheap aftermarket batteries, we had problems with them at Rossmann Group, that a load of batteries that we bought from a supplier, it didn't care if you had the connector connected or not. It would still have power on it. And they went dead, they went bad, like actually stopped working in a month or two after installing. They were the worst batteries ever. So yeah, needless to say, we got all our money back for them, and all of our customers that had them installed got emails, and they all sent their stuff back and got new batteries before there could even be any problems. Yeah, the battery fiasco. That's getting good batteries is a real pain in the ass. So thanks for stopping by, everybody. Am I going to stream more? It's kind of difficult since I'm the only one here. When it gets busy, I'm kind of busy right now, but not busy enough that I figured this is in my wheelhouse. This is the things that I do, so I should stream this. But between answering phone calls and it seems like Tuesdays might be a good day to stream. Because, yeah, between answering phone calls and people walking in and, you know, fixing things, it's kind of difficult to stream when you're the one-person operation. But I'll try to as often as I can. I have a bunch of videos recorded. So I have some weird random stuff, like my studio lights that I use. They're just these... They're just these, like T5 LED tubes. I have a bunch of these all over the house, so in the garage, in the attic. They're absolutely amazing. They're cheap. They work really well. This one went dead on me. First one I ever had go dead. So I have a video of fixing that. What else? I have some PlayStation 5 videos. Got a video of a PlayStation 5, how to clean and readjust the liquid metal. I didn't search YouTube and see how many people have done a good video on that, but I recorded a really good high-quality video of that, explaining the whole process all the way through. I need to edit that up and put that out. I also have, I just did a PlayStation 5, one of the DDR6 RAM chips on the back of the board actually exploded and cracked in half. Here it is right here. And, yeah, I was able to order a new RAM chip straight from regular stock houses and changed it, came back to life, no problem. Guys had it back home for a week now playing games. Great, it worked out great. I was concerned that, you know, one RAM chip would have harmed the other ones, but everything seems fine on that. That was cool. So that's a long video there that I have to edit out. Do you have cats? I do not have cats. I have cats. I have stray cats. So I feed the stray cats in the neighborhood. And since I've been feeding the stray cats, now I have foxes hanging around. So I had two foxes fighting over the cat food that I left in the backyard the other night. But yeah, I do want a cat, but my fiance, she's allergic. So we need either Russian blue or a Siamese, and because they produce less of the protein that you're actually allergic to. But purebred Russian blue or Siamese is thousands of dollars to get one of them. That's certified purebred. So I don't know if I'm ever going to do that. Maybe someday. I love cats, though. So, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Thanks for interacting. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, I need to post more videos. Ever since that video on vacation of the plane crashing, and I have barely posted anything since then. And it kind of like, the channel went dead. The couple of videos that I have posted have not gotten many views. So I think the long break that I took kind of screwed some shit up with the algorithm, and now I'm just going to have to get back on, like, I have a bunch of videos recorded, so I need to edit them up, and I think I need to get on a good schedule. I think I was starting to do a good schedule of, like, every Monday and Friday I would put a video out, and that's when it seemed like I was getting a lot of views. But we'll see. Whatever I have time for. I'm also going to be gearing up more on photography. A local library started a community darkroom, so it has ignited my love of photography again. So I have some photography videos lined up. I have two that I've recorded. Also have some stuff recorded just out of the darkroom. I'm planning on starting to rent out my darkroom. Also planning on starting possibly some photography services. Doing like nothing like I'm not doing weddings and bar mitzvahs or something like that, but I'll do portraiture or like senior pictures or eBay product photography. If you have like a really nice watch that you want to sell and you don't mind paying $10 to get a really good picture taken of it, or a couple really good pictures taken of it, something high dollar items, I'll do eBay photography. I have a phone call. I'm back. Empty chair stream. Ooh, how many viewers did I have for the empty chair stream? Lewis used to love doing that. That was for Eli, the computer guy. I lost my YouTube. There it is. 34 viewers for a empty chair. Yay! Mikey, how's it going, Mikey? Haven't heard from you in a while. If anybody doesn't know, Mikey is a prior Rossmann Group employee as well. He did all the shipping stuff. He's also a avid Twitch streamer and video editor. If any of you guys do videos for anything, he will put them together for you. It's going well over here, Mikey. It's going well. Yeah, I guess Mikey, you just heard, I'm going to be trying to concentrate a little bit on photography, just a different revenue stream. It's something that, I've been into since grammar school, since Boy Scouts, since even before that, because my father was into photography. So I think I grabbed it from him. And I've taken it a lot farther than he ever has. I've always had a dark room. So, yeah, other specialty photography too, like actual silver gelatin prints, black and white prints and stuff. If somebody wants a real portrait on real film, developed in a real darkroom with real chemistry and everything, glad to do that. Some people prefer that. They want a portrait of themselves or family portrait or something actually on silver gelatin, black and white, something like that. Maybe like Instagram models or something like that would like a real silver gelatin print to send out to fans signed or something. So stuff like that is what I'm planning on doing. No birthday parties, no wedding stuff or anything. Just all specialty stuff. Stuff that have done in the past. Like I've done CD covers. I've taken pictures of like DJs and stuff for their CD covers and stuff like that. I've redid model portfolios for people, stuff like that. So that's what I'd like to get a little bit more into. And I need to revamp my photography website. My photography website sucks right now. So I need to select a bunch of pictures, a bunch of glory photos and stuff like that for that. And yeah, I need to create some online galleries and stuff. Maybe even sell some of my photos online, possibly. Sell prints or something. Because I had recently, my fiance has been getting me to travel, and we've taken some really amazing trips, and I've gotten some really amazing pictures from these trips. You can check it out on my Instagram. I think my Instagram's linked on this channel. If you go to the about, somewhere in there is my Instagram. It's the same handle as here, A1707 MHC. This is a wireless mic. And no PP stream. You were in the 1 hour developing for 12 years. So Steve from Rossman Repair Group, he went to Texas with them, but due to family reasons and stuff, he had to come back here. I don't think his wife was able to move to Texas. She couldn't get a job or couldn't transfer her job over to Texas. So he came back here, and what he learned while he was in Texas, their next door neighbor in Texas or down the street or something is a film lab. They actually have a film lab over there. So he got the bug that he would like to open a film lab here in New York City, in the space that we were at, 141 West 27th. And me and him have been going back and forth forever now over it. The only way it's going to work really is if you you throw it all in and get a Noritsu and get a good scanner, the big scanner and everything like that. You need just the full-on machine, either the all-in-one Kodak or Fujifilm or a Noritsu. And they are all over eBay, and they are all like $20,000 or $30,000. They're all like the same price you would have paid 12 years ago for them. They've all come back. They're all insanely expensive. People want them. Film labs are spinning back up all over the place. Film has come back for a while. Kodak has spun up all of their manufacturing again. You know, it's exciting to me to see a love of it come back in such form that people are fueling this. I absolutely love it. Me myself, I'm still shooting on film stock that I bought 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Yeah, most films, wrong way, most films are available. Ah, Pentax, the L-Mount Alliance. Yeah. No, I do not have it in the fridge, and I have seen no problems with it, but it is, so I've wondered about that, the cold storage stuff. So it has always been in its metal can, in a metal vessel, in a basement. So I wonder if fogging is more cosmic ray fogging than anything to do with temperature-wise or anything like that, because this film still works absolutely amazing. It's perfect. There's no fogging whatsoever. You see, this is a bulk film loader. This is a can of bulk film, expires 7 of 1999. This is what I'm still using today, and it responds perfectly. The tonality is perfect. There's no fogging on it whatsoever. I don't think it needs to be in cold storage. I think the multiple layers of steel that it's been in has been what has preserved it all of these years. Because I think it's more cosmic radiation is what starts fogging film more than temperature-wise or anything like that. Veronica medium format for weddings, wow. I have only really old medium format cameras. I have the Kodak Duoflex and stuff like that. All the normal popular ones. And yeah, I still shoot medium format, but it's 620. I don't have not one camera that takes 120 film. Everything takes 620 film, which is the same size as medium format. It's just the spool is a metal spool, so the end pieces are a lot thinner. So 120 with that plastic spool doesn't fit in it. Then I have large format too. I have a 5x7 camera that I like taking out. I wish I could had the space and the money for a 5x7 and larger, though. That would be amazing. Right now, I can only do contact prints of the 5x7, but they look really cool. Most of the cameras that I actually use are all Nikon. Like this is, you're seeing me through a Nikon D850. And then, yeah, Nikon F100 for my film camera. Yeah, well, you'll see more photography stuff on here, hopefully. Although it doesn't seem like, I'm looking at even some of the more popular photographer stuff and stuff like that. Photography does not have that much of a following on YouTube. I'm surprised. The view counts, even for people that have lots of subscribers, is very low for darkroom stuff. Yeah, but I'm going to put it out there in the world and see what happens. But thanks for joining me, guys. Hope you learned something. And yeah, if I have something good to fix, I will be back. I should stream a lot more often. Have a good day.